everyone. Welcome back to Open. So this 4th of July weekend, the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts and Voices of the People's History of the United States have collaborated to celebrate the social justice heroes of the past and present. The video presentation will feature spoken word performances by 17 graduating seniors from Maxine Greene School for Imaginative Inquiry in New York City. And joining us to tell us more, we welcome Lincoln Center Programming Director Jordana Leigh and Maxine Greene School for Imaginative Inquiry AP U.S. history teacher Jeffrey Ellis-Lee. Hello and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being with us.
We are thrilled to be here. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving a spotlight on this very important project to Lincoln Center and to Voices and to Maxine Greene. It's really a very, very special project for us.
Well, I think the timing is impeccable as well. I understand that this was initially going to be executed in May. So it's interesting that you've chosen to do it during the 4th of July weekend. And there's so much social consciousness being brought into the forefront that I think this is a really great way for a lot of us to spend our Independence weekend this time around. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, it's about American history. The project is overall about retelling and telling America's true history. And so we thought 4th of July would be a great way to do this. The project was originally supposed to happen at the David Rubenstein Atrium in May, and it's part of a 5-year ongoing relationship with Maxine Greene and Voices. And when we had to go into isolation, Jeffrey and the Voices team really worked very hard with the students to make sure that they actually did a presentation. And so we're honored to be able to do this now.
And so Jeffrey, as the history teacher, right? I love how she said the real history, right?
Well, it's very true. Yeah, very true.
Because this is what we are going through right now.
Right.
And some of your subjects that have been chosen, or I don't know if you chose them, if the students chose them, but I will say in reviewing the press release and going through some of the materials myself, I found it to be very fascinating how it kind of covers the spectrum of a rainbow in subject matter as well as individuals.
Well, the students actually spend 2 years with me, and they look at a specific area in history, and they also look at a government policy that's connected to that. So the exploration that they and the empowerment that they go through is completely individual, and it's chosen by them. And they spend, because we are a school that focuses on inquiry, they really dig into the real history that surrounds that voice, that policy, that history. Because as you pointed out, most of the history that we're taught in a textbook isn't the real history. And that's the beauty of this, that they get to look at the voice of a person who experienced it on the ground.
And so why don't you share with us and share with our viewers who are some of the speeches or stories that are going to be shared this time around?
Well, it ranges from, and chronologically, from the very beginning prior to, colonial history, prior to being the United States, all the way up to modern times. And some of the voices that always pop to the kids are Sojourner Truth, Ain't I a Woman? I think every year we've had that. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. This year we have a couple of speeches that are from former and from slaves. And that was beautiful. We did a little mini Juneteenth celebration around those voices. And we go all the way through to modern times.
Right. I noticed you have an undocumented youth advocate, Gustavo Madrigal Piña.
Yes.
Right? That's not too far. That's not too many years ago. So
no, it's not. It's definitely in the 2000s. I think that's from 2007 or 8.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's a little old, but not massively.
Right.
But it centers all around the issue of DACA.
Right.
And so a lot of the student voices. Pardon me. In my classroom.
No, my apologies.
Go ahead.
No. It's your floor.
No, I was just saying.
I was agreeing with you.
It really resonates with a lot of the students in my classroom that have immigration issues, and some of them because of this, are able to experience something that never would have happened in just a traditional classroom.
Right, and then there's the style of it, right? Because some of the subjects that are being discussed have to do with Black Lives Matter, have
Mm-hmm.
to do with disease and or the gay society, and then there's the immigration issue, and then there's this all of us belonging to American history.
Yes, absolutely. We
True.
lost Jeffrey for a second there. Sorry.
Oh, there you are. You're there.
I'm back. Well, it's interesting because those issues, if you really like focus on, I guess we keep going back to the same idea of the real history, they've always been there. They've always been there. They may take on a different tone, a different color, but from the very beginning, it's these same issues that keep coming back. And we're really coming to this moment of reckoning right now, where maybe we can actually finally deal with one of them. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. And I just want to acknowledge you both, right, for taking this on. I mean, it's a commitment, obviously, that's been occurring every year for the past 5 years. And the fact that now it's available to everyone virtually, I think is going to really have a broader impact.
Yeah, I want to also just really recognize what Jeffrey has done in his classroom and how he is this amazing glue to these students, to making this happen. He is an inspiration and a force of nature. I have seen Jeffrey handle this change from being in the classroom to being virtual. He's accommodated his own schedule so that the students could really be engaged and worked with them, and has done everything from sending silly photos to cracking the whip, but really so that these students felt empowered and supported during this time. So I really want to recognize that work that's been happening, and it's pretty amazing. And we at Lincoln Center love partnering up with Maxine Greene, and we love partnering up with Voices, and this is a very true passion project for all of us. And we've been working on this project that we work with the students at least twice a month, from the beginning of the school year to the end. And then Jeffrey continues this energy throughout his curriculum and his work with the students. So it's a really holistic partnership, and it's been definitely the thing that gives me hope and inspiration.
That's lovely. I like that term. I like the phrase holistic, right? Because there is a sense of healing that comes with learning the real history. And then there's this other aspect of modernizing it, right? Because of the circumstances, you also had to figure out a way to convey these messages and or deliver the presentation in an electronic form, in a video form, which is what we're here to discuss today. So before we go, really quickly, let's just share a little bit about, I guess, the spoken word, the visuals, the music, and everything that's going to accompany this style of presentation.
Well, the minute we went remote, March 13th, it was Friday the 13th, there was no way that I was going to allow this to not go forward, because it is the highlight of the year. It's the highlight of my career. And to see those students empowered and become something that you knew was there, they had no idea was there, it comes out of them. There was no way I was going to let this go. So we found a way. We kind of blundered our way through the darkness and figured it out. And that's a testament to our partnership. And thank God this did not happen year one, because we've developed relationships with each other.
Right.
And that really helped out. And the relationships had already been established with the students in the classroom, which was instrumental in being able to move forward. Because it really all is about relationships.
So it's almost like a form of completion for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, and also a sense of relief, right? That you were able to just get it done at the end of the day. Well, there's been a
Yeah,
lot of
you were so
obstacles
right.
and a lot of delays, you know, and circumstances call for this type of presentation. It's the consciousness, the social consciousness. And I just want to acknowledge you both for your commitment to our community and to the next generation. So thank you for bringing it here and sharing it with our viewers.
Thank you
you
for
very
allowing us.
Thank
All
you.
right. And once again, you guys, the Lincoln Center Voices of the People's History of the United States will premiere virtually at lincolncenter.org and at Lincoln Center NYC live on FB on Saturday, July 4th at 1 p.m. Make sure to tune in to those performances. All right, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear how one artist is using her creativity to make funky and safe masks for the community. Don't go anywhere.